broke his ankles. Now he's got an entourage, and he's got a touchdown.
The impossible dream of a play. Madden is on the field. He wants to know if it's real. They said yes. Get your big butt out of here.
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game.
He's got it. End zone. Touchdown Titans. There are no flags on the field. It's a miracle.
How's it going? How's it going today?
How's it going? It's a miracle, man. Another Sunday with the football frame of mind. So y'all know what it is. It's a weekly show, man. We hope y'all having a real good Sunday, man. So y'all relaxing to start your work week or at work about to get off. Whatever the case may be. We hope y'all had a good weekend, man, and y'all with us again on the Football Frame of Mind YouTube channel. Once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Look at the bottom. Look at our ticker, man. Straight ESPN style. Check us out everywhere, man. We are on Spotify, man, Apple Music, man. We're all those platforms that you get your podcast from, man. We're everywhere. Today's show is, of course, brought to you by the Villain Sports Media Network, man. We are a growing group of podcasters, man. We got hella shows over there, including some that are upcoming. So you don't want to miss that. Interviews, all kind of stuff, game streams, all of that. So, but of course, subscribe to the Football Frame of Mind YouTube channel. We do everything football, everything. Even Waterboy, we'll do that. Yeah, like who's the greatest water boy ever, bro? Bobby Boucher. Of course, man. But before we get started, man, how you doing?
It's great. We are on the cliff about to jump off into college football and NFL season, man. Less than a month away from the college football season. Pretty much, I think week 0 is the week before the 30th. I know LSU plays Clemson on the 30th of August, so we're pretty much a month away. Got a lot of crazy things happening. Like you said before, if you're on YouTube, please subscribe. We would truly appreciate it. It really helps with the algorithm. It helps get our content to a lot of like-minded people who like this kind of thing as well. If you like game streams, unboxings, we do a lot of polls as well. We just got done with the greatest defensive lineman poll. And speaking of that, let's see who won. Reggie White. Reggie White is beating Bruce Smith by a landslide. So definitely check those out. We start outside linebackers tomorrow. A lot of really cool stuff going on. If you guys haven't seen our interview with Matt Moscona of 104.5 Baton Rouge, I think you should really go check it out. It's a really cool interview. Hoping to be able to do more stuff like that here pretty soon. But like you said before, like, follow, subscribe across all platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, X. If you like watching these or you like listening to these, but you're too busy to sit down and watch, got you covered. All of the major audio platforms, Spotify, Amazon, and Apple. So whether you're at the gym, at work, maybe driving on your way home, you can plug us in your ear and check us out.
Yes, sir. All right. Like I said, it shouldn't be that long of a show, man. Like I said, when you're in the off season, as Josh Pate says, you're looking for content, man. So we're gonna keep it going, man, with some interesting stuff, man. So y'all know the drill, man. Numbers going up a little bit. So we need those guys. We need y'all who are watching to subscribe, man. Just don't be stingy. It's free.
Makes it easier to find the videos. Like, why go to your search bar when if you subscribe and you hit the bell, all the stuff's right there on your feed. You don't have to look anywhere. It's already right there. Make it easy on yourself. Why should you are too good to have to hit the search bar? Why should you hit the search bar? You're too good for that. Subscribe and you ain't got to hit the search bar or nothing. Pop open the app. Everything's right there in front of you. You're too good for the search bar. Don't do that. Subscribe.
Yeah, Bandy Chris he liking your setup, bruh.
I appreciate it, brother. I'm kind of interchanging some stuff. I got some different like signs and stuff. I'm probably gonna change here and there, but it's good to actually have an AC room now. actually have room to breathe. And yeah, I got tired of being crammed up. So here we are.
Hell yeah, man. No more closet, man. We got open space in this thing. Open space. We could breathe. Nah, but like and subscribe, man. Y'all know what the drill, man. We need to see this number in the 20s, man. We trying to get there. But we gonna get there. We gonna get there, man. But today we're gonna talk about in our NFL segment. It's gonna be short, man. But I thought you would like this one, man. All right. Thank you, Mr. Duff, for the love on Facebook. We appreciate it for real. So I wanted to talk to you about Jamal Adams, right? So Jamal Adams oh shit. What's good, Miles?
What's going on, Miles? Seen you yesterday on the stream. What's going on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So Jamal Adams, obviously one of my favorite SEC players growing up. Not well growing up, yeah, because he's been in the league for a little bit. So yeah, watched him quite a bit. Obviously, Alabama, LSU, right? And I thought he was talented. I was like, yo, he is like he want to win. I've seen that anyway, right? Especially the back and forth between him and Leonard Fournette, right? It was kind of like, he ain't like the way Fournette just quit on the team. You know what I'm saying? Right? But nonetheless, he went to the Jets and, tried to put in a different era of Jets football, right? He was responsible for that. They tried Sam Darnold. They were trying to change the thing. And I felt like Adams was really trying to do that. Out of all the players on the team, he was considerably the best player throughout his team.
Oh.
I saw it.
That's my dude, bro. I love that dude.
Yeah, I see it. Let's go get to it. But I wanted to see how you thought. His career after the Jets has been kind of, roller coaster ride. What's good, Wendy? What's going on? Doing good. But it's been a roller coaster ride, to say the least, right? Seattle was okay. Then he went to like the Titans for like a year or something like that. Didn't really do much. But he's getting another chance to extend his career by switching positions. So seeing how his career has gone up until this point, right? Good move, not good move, and could he do it? Pete Carroll loves projects, so
he needs to call LaRon Landry and get on his workout routine, as in but if he's yoked up like him, he'll be perfectly fine. But I mean, it'll be interesting. He's gonna have to bulk up. He's already kind of a muscular guy, but to be able to switch to linebacker, you got to put a little bit of weight and muscle mass on. You got to kind of thicken out a little bit. But I think he's got a good football IQ. He's not the same as like Honey Badger in a sense, but like he always knows how do I say this? How to be around the ball, trying to make plays, trying to be around where the action's at. So I think it'll be interesting. I mean, I would think he could, but it's a vast difference though. Like safety and linebacker are like different. Like you're closer to the trenches now instead of being further back in zone or whatever. But it'll be interesting. I trust Pete Carroll's judgment, so I think it'll definitely be interesting to say the least.
Cam or Hurts? Not close. What are we talking about? We talking about
Cam or Hurts? For me, it's Hurts, and it's not close.
We talking about NFL?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. We'll get back to it. We'll get back to it.
Clarify it.
All right. So, let's see, man. So for me, I think it'll work. Because lately he's been
okay. That makes sense.
Lately he's been, kind of injured, right? A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, his career after the Jets has been up and down. And I feel like, man, for him to continue to play, he's got to do something different because it feels like he's on that Bob Sanders thing where every time he plays reckless, he gets hurt, So to bring him closer to the ball seems like a good move to me, right? I think he's I think he's good. I think he can move faster, right? And I do think he could follow the kind of the path of Mark Barron. Like
Okay.
Mark Barron, how he was with the Buccaneers and he was a safety, and then went to the Rams and they moved him to linebacker, and it was a seamless transition. Now I do think that Barron was a little bigger, so it made sense.
Made it easier.
Yeah, but I do think that his ability, his speed might be more of an asset than people think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Raiders picked up Devin White too, so like he's on the team as well. So they got a good linebacking core there, and I think he can fit in.
The only thing that was questionable for me, I like what the Raiders have on defense, but the one thing I didn't necessarily understand, and I don't know how you feel about this, they just gave Christian Wilkins an extension last season, and he still had 3 years left on his deal, and then they released him, which was kind of odd because I feel like he was a major difference maker for them up front. I didn't, from my sources, I haven't heard a reason why, but that just didn't make any sense because I feel like that's a major difference maker for you. You need to keep those glue guys in there.
Well, from what I was reading, it was a lot of riffraff going on. Like him not taking his rehab serious, and also kind of like not being a team guy.
Maybe he just didn't want to buy into what Pete Carroll was.
Yeah, maybe that was the thing, right?
And that happens. That happens because you remember remember when we talked to Matt. Matt was talking about like when Sean Payton came to New Orleans and they had guys like that, like was it Wayne Gandy, like Pro Bowl offensive lineman. And he's like, well, you're not buying in, dope, cut you out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And like I said, that's a big chunk of change that they got to pay him out, right?
Dead money.
They got rid of him, but I think we'd rather do that than kind of
keep the negativity in the locker room.
Yeah. Because this is a pivotal season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can, I'm not gonna say you can win the division, but you're
in the mix.
Yeah, you're in the mix because of the Chiefs being kind of down, right? Or at least down on paper, should I say. You got a chance. No need to, rock the boat, right? You're already hurt. You were gonna be on the PUP list. So they're physically unable to perform for people that don't really know that vernacular. But it was a good move to move him, just to get rid of that headache and call it a day. Kind of like Antonio Brown. It's like, yo, you don't really want to be here. We'll just call it a day,
That's a guy for the Raiders. That would have been a crazy freaking.
Yeah. John Gruden said, I wish I could have coached him, but
just didn't work out.
He didn't want to be there. So I don't know. But that's how it go, man. But nonetheless, man, like I said, shout out to Jamal Adams, getting another chance to keep his career going. I mean, obviously he's a former top 10 pick, I want to say. So playing different positions, it's kind of an old school way of doing things. A lot of people don't want to do it. But I'm really glad to see him doing it, man. So I think he's talking about the beat.
They've been because Cam Newton, he I don't know what his thing is with Jalen. It's like he's like, yeah, he's not. He made a top 10, and Jalen Hurts wasn't top 10. I'm like Cam, but Jalen Hurts would have dove on the ball, bro. He would have dove on the ball, and you're like, oh, MVPs are better than Super Bowls. I'm like, dude, I'd much rather have a Super Bowl ring than an MVP. I'm sorry. MVPs are cool. Like says like you're the best that season, but a ring is a ring, bro.
See,
I'd rather have a Super Bowl.
See, for me, man, yes, the Super Bowl is the team goal, right? But if we're talking about the Hall of Fame, it's a little bit more individual, right? So if you got an MVP and another person that they're trying to compare and contrast you to does not, that's a flower in the cap for you, you know. But if your careers are even in a sense, right? So say we're comparing Aaron Rodgers to Drew Brees, right? That's pretty much straight down the middle, right? In terms of MVP, one Super Bowl, everything, right? So then you start looking at, the ones that don't have it, right? Drew Brees doesn't have, MVP, but he does have a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP with a whole bunch of 5,000-yard seasons, right? Then you start picking apart some things when you get to the Hall of Fame conversation, right? But the Super Bowl is one of those, criteria that you got to have sometimes, especially when it's close, right? When it's close, that's where it is, So I enjoy, the Super Bowl, right? Argument, but I do think if you're on a bad team, right, for a long time, and the bulk of your prime is on, bad teams, then I kind of got to excuse the Super Bowl sometimes and just focus on your greatness, on what you did. That's just how I see it. Like Leroy Selman spending all that time with the Buccaneers, one of the best players in league history, right? And spent all that time with them losing and losing, but didn't stop his greatness though.
Same thing with Joe Thomas.
Yeah, Joe Thomas, exactly. He's in the same category. Or like one of the best tackles in league history for what, a decade? You're talking Orlando Pace type dominance, right? Like nobody was better than him. And he just stayed with Cleveland, right? Hoping they would fix it. So that's my whole thing, man. But let's see. Chris says Touchdown Troop says
Christian Wilkins.
I
mean, well, he's defensive end, yeah.
Tackle more so, in my opinion.
So I mean, really anywhere that's
there's some options, but nobody's going to touch him until he is completely healed.
Well, yeah, they're not going to take that risk.
Yeah,
unless there's just more reward than risk.
Yeah, and then
we'll get into that, bro. You crazy?
Yeah, I would even say that's a little crazy.
Little crazy. That's pretty crazy. Running backs actually smaller. I think he's talking about how Jamal Adams is just smaller. I think that's what he was talking about.
Yeah, but in today's game, Vandy Chris, being small at linebacker isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Back in the day, it was though.
Yeah, back in the day, you were probably going to get caught in the wash, which is why you draft players like Ray Lewis, or you draft players like Patrick Willis, Levon Kirkland, big linebackers, right? Because you're trying to stop the run. You know what I'm saying? So, but nowadays it's so much faster and so much space. You need people to close the distance on a Hunter Renfro or guys like that, Jameer Gibbs, should I say? Like even Jamar Chase, you need somebody that can close the distance between them, because if they catch it in space, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. So you need a guy like Jamal Adams, man, who can close the space. He might be smaller than the average linebacker, but he's got good ball skills and he's a lot faster than most linebackers. So you're going to be able to, tackle in space a lot better. So I'm looking forward to that part. How they use them, because one thing about Pete Carroll will find gems anywhere, right? Percy Harvin was kind of on his way out of Minnesota in a sense, right? But then Pete Carroll got him in Seattle, and he was damn near the missing piece, even though he was kind of hurt all the time. But that punt return he had won them the Super Bowl, damn near. That was it. After that, right? You had a chance. You would say, oh, well, Peyton Manning had a chance in the Super Bowl. After that punt return, that was it. You was like, nah, because you're getting beat on all three phases, all three. So no. And then
give me the MVP because I mean, but I'm pretty sure if you'd ask Dan Marino, would he trade in one of his MVPs for a Super Bowl? Pretty sure he'd say trade the MVP for a Super Bowl. It just depends the preference, but it's like, dude, like when you're growing up and you want to go to the league, obviously you want to make the Hall of Fame, but I don't ever hear anybody be like, man, I want to win MVPs. No, I want to win Super Bowls because it is the pinnacle of winning to say you are on the best team that year consensusly. Yeah, you can be MVPs like, I'm the best player, but anybody, I'm pretty sure Matt Ryan would trade that MVP he had for a freaking Super Bowl.
Yeah, but it also depends on how many you go to, right? Because if you only go to one, then it's like, well, I don't really know, right? Like you go to one Super Bowl and don't go at all after that, then it's kind of like, yeah, right? But if you went to a lot of them and you lost, then it's like, okay, I had my opportunity.
Did Jim Kelly ever win an MVP?
No, I don't think so.
So he's kind of shit out of luck. He didn't win no MVP, and he went to 4 Super Bowls and lost. That sucks.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? So,
that's a pretty bad circumstance.
Yeah, but you can't deny his greatness.
No,
right? But with him, it's not that you're on a bad team. You just
couldn't get it done.
Yeah, you just played a better team that day. Every Super Bowl, like the Giants had a better defense, right? Then the Redskins, they lost to them. That was just, a team on a mission. You just didn't have enough.
They played Dallas.
And then you got Dallas, and they should have got more than 2 Super Bowls. So that's how good those teams were, right? It was just a rough time for the AFC, in my opinion. Because there's no doubt that I think either the Chiefs or the Bills were the best team, period, during that time. Right. So when you think about it, it's like, damn, the NFC was loaded, bro. The Eagles was good in the 90s. The Cowboys was good in the 90s. The Giants and the Redskins was good. That whole division.
The Niners too.
The Niners, right? Who else was good in the 90s, man?
The Chargers weren't bad either.
The Chargers, the Bengals got to a Super Bowl, I think, in the 90s. So, or at least late 80s or whatever, but they still had good teams, because Boomer Esiason was still there. So you had some really good teams, but the Bills and the Chiefs were like the top dogs.
Well, even when the Chiefs had Montana, they could have freaking made a run too. Exactly. At the end of his career.
So that's what I'm saying, man. I think they just, for him, that argument for him to be top 10 is not the same as Dan Marino's, because Dan Marino didn't have the luxury of a Andre Reed, Thurman Thomas, Bryce Pop on defense with Cornelius Bennett, and then you got Bruce Smith over there. Like, you got all of these players, right? Like Cornelius Bennett was an All-Pro, right? Bryce Pop got a Defensive Player of the Year one year. Of course, Bruce Smith is the all-time leader in sacks. So you got a good defense as well. So it's like, damn, you really, you ain't got that excuse. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing. But like I said, man, we going off on a tangent, but we can talk about it all the time, man. CS Smooth said, yeah. So they were talking about the Jalen Hurts beef, man, with Cam Newton. But so my whole thing before we go, my whole thing about this sports media thing, man, is you respect the players that have done things, right? You respect them, right? So if you were a role player in whatever league you were in, hockey, whatever, right? You would have a better idea of what's going on, more so than the star player, because they're focused on doing
their sole responsibility. Someone else can see the bigger picture.
Exactly. So when I'm listening to guys like Cam Newton who won MVPs, went to Super Bowls, won a Heisman, right? It's hard for me to really take everything that they say
At
with
face value.
with so much confidence sometimes because
Mm-hmm.
you see it if you're that person in one way,
Mm-hmm.
superstar mode, right? You haven't, if we're talking Cam Newton, he hasn't been out of this NFL superstar realm that long, right? So his idea of like, oh man, I'm really like I was the shit. You were, but why do you have to use that as a
He
means
uses
to
he uses
shit
it
on
as
someone
he
else?
uses it as leverage because he's insecure about the stuff that he didn't accomplish. I
Yeah,
feel like
like it just it just
it's just negative.
it grinds my gears, man, to hear guys of such great lineage, man, winning Heisman's, MVPs, going to Super Bowls, just shit on guys, just shit on the new guys, right?
He, he's
Like,
pissy
yeah,
because he's got a better team around him than he does. So he's like, well, I had a crappier team, so like, why not just say how
and
good I was?
and that is like he's actually right about that,
Yeah, but that's
right?
not Jalen's fault.
But that's like I said, it's not Jalen's fault. It's not his fault that his organization went out and drafted, you
Correctly,
know, great. They drafted great. I don't even have to go down the
they
list.
draft great every year.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's not their fault, right? But I do put the blame on Cam Newton because after you won that MVP and after that Super Bowl,
I feel like he just got lax
I didn't see
like
like,
that.
hey, I need this, I
Mm-hmm.
need that, give me this, give me that. Like, I want to get back to the Super Bowl. I didn't see that, right? And that's my whole
Because
thing, right?
he got that big payday after that, and then it was just dead after
Like,
that.
that's my whole thing. Like, I'm not saying he didn't say these things and the Panthers were just horrible, but as a fan, I didn't see or hear him making that much noise about it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If we just lost the Super Bowl and it's my fault, right? Because technically it is, right? Because if you dove for that football, you're only down, I want to say 7, right?
With
Your
Tom,
your defense has been playing good. Peyton Manning got one arm. You got a chance to win this motherfucking game. Even if you punt the ball right there, your defense is playing good. You
yeah, you're
got Luke
putting them back.
Kuechly.
You're taking them out of good position. You're putting them further back.
Right. If you dove for that football, it was, I think it might have been second down or whatever. No, fourth down or something. But whatever. Whatever. You have to dive for that football or at least try to pick it up, throw it out of bounds or something. I don't know what you can do in that situation, but you have to do something besides not do that.
Yeah, that was just really even watching it in real time. I don't know if you watched it live, but I
I did.
remember watching that game live and I'm like, wait, what? And I
Like
had to go back and see the replay. I'm like, I know I didn't see what I think I just saw. And I'm like,
yeah, this is
what's
the
going
same.
on?
This is on, that was on the level of Anthony Richardson, bro. Like,
Yeah.
remember when he tapped out of the game? That was the same level, right? Because now I think it's much worse in my opinion. Because it's people like
And
like
you're on the
Leroy
grandest stage.
like Leroy Selman, right? Would probably love to have played in a Super Bowl in his prime, right? I think that would have been the greatest thing ever. You got people like Bruce Smith that lost 4 Super Bowls, right? You're in your first. I don't understand why you don't dive for that. Because
It's the same thing. Like, you remember when Breeze had that bad shoulder injury? And they had that freaking, and I'm not trying to compare them, but like that's the first thing I think about. That was a meaningless game. Not a meaningless game, but it wasn't a playoff game and it wasn't a Super Bowl.
when he
And
left San Diego,
his
okay.
last season, they had a really good team. It wasn't a playoff game if I'm not mistaken, but he dove on that freaking ball inside the red zone and got his freaking shoulder completely jacked. Like that.
Yeah,
And think about it. If he's doing that, it's not even that game. I'm not trying to hold it against you, but like, there's no excuse for that, bro.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
if you want to win that bad, and if you really want to win the Super Bowl for your team that bad, bro, you don't even hesitate in that situation. I feel like just your reflex is like, no, I got to get on that. You know what I mean? That was just really odd because like he ifed that and chose not to.
I mean, bro, like even if see that's smooth, man.
You gotta give A for effort, bro.
Thank you for being, in the chat, man. But even if that was the issue, oh, my leg might have get snapped, right?
Dude, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You can't just assume you're gonna go back to the Super Bowl. You just can't. Like the league moves too fast for that. But that goes to my love and hate relationship with Cam Newton, right? I love Cam Newton, like he's one of my favorite players in college, even though he went to Auburn, right? I can't hate on dude. He balled the fuck out, right? And talk about a one year rental, bro. Like that's the standard. That's the standard.
That's the pinnacle.
Yeah, like yo, we got this dude for 1 year, and we gonna go all in for it.
And that was a team of misfits.
What's good? What's
What's going on, brother?
Yeah, so that's my whole thing about Cam Newton, man. Like you were so good, you just have to like give it up to these young dudes, man. Because be honest with you, you be out here hating, and it's gonna be tough for you to be around you, and him being such an ambassador to the game because you've had success. You didn't just play. You MVP, first overall pick, rookie of the year, Heisman winner. Like you got so much to give back to the game in a positive way.
But he's just bitter.
Like, but shitting on the young dudes ain't the way to go, because Gilbert Arenas says this all the time. The youth will always win. It don't matter. Like you're gonna have to give it to the youth eventually.
You can't hold on anymore. Like you're done. You're out of the league. Like it's time to let it go.
Yeah, like no, nobody's gonna deal. Even if you were better than the bottom 10 quarterbacks in the league, right? Nobody's gonna give you a shot because nobody want to deal with that.
You talk too damn much.
Exactly. The outfits, like I love some of them, but nobody's really gonna want to do that, right? If we sign Cam Newton, we sign all of this.
Oh yeah, you don't get a piece; you get the whole cake.
Yeah, like no, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's why guys like Vinny Testaverde played so damn long, because they didn't do all of that. They just play ball. Now I get it; it's a part of being a professional athlete, right?
Same thing with Rich Gannon. Same thing. Guys just put their head down and work.
Yeah, like I get it. You got a lot of money. You from wherever. You ain't never had it. But sometimes you gotta humble yourself a little bit. Just a little bit, man.
And Jalen's done that, bro. Being that like how highly touted he was at Bama, to get benched and to leave, still have success, come into the league and earn that spot, take it from Carson Wentz. He's faced adversity. He's proven it. He's earned his stripes. He's benefited to having a lot of talent around him. But don't get it twisted, bro. Y'all acting like this is Trent Dilfer. This dude can ball, bro. He can run. We've seen in the freaking Super Bowl, got ice in his freaking veins, dropping balls down the seam with effortlessly. Yeah. Like, don't get it twisted. Cam's just freaking pissy because he ain't got no ring and because his organization didn't build around him properly. It's not Jalen Hurts' fault, and Jalen Hurts is playing to his potential. And he's not turning the ball over. He's playing smart, and they're winning games. He's won 1 out of 2 Super Bowls, and it's looking like they're going to be in that window for the foreseeable future. Like, just drop it.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, man. Like, look, like the organization might have not did anything, but you also didn't make enough noise either, right? There's like Joe Burrow knows he's in a window, and that window with the Bengals is closing. So you've seen him be vocal about it. Hey, man, look,
we gotta get people paid.
We gotta get people paid. I need some offensive linemen. They went out and addressed that. two big motherfuckers. Stop somebody. Just stand in the way, right? Protect the golden goose, right? Then they paid Chase and Higgins, right? Now, okay, the defense getting a little crazy, right? Because
they signed Homeboy though. He agreed to his contract.
They did. So, but
that's great news.
But my point is, you see what happens when you make a lot of noise.
You have to, but I think Cam can point the finger all he wanted. He wanted that freaking payday, and as soon as he got paid, I don't feel like I've seen the same Cam Newton after that. Now, I understand a few seasons following that he did battle injuries. He had that bad back injury and some other stuff, so I completely understand that, but I just don't feel like we got that same guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like Dan Marino, for instance, year 2, makes it to a freaking Super Bowl in year freaking 2, bro. 5,000 yards, and we never seen dude take his foot off the pedal. Ever. He's like, no, we are going to go. We're going to go. We're going to go. Didn't make no excuses. Just put his freaking head down and work. And I just don't feel like we've seen that. And obviously, they're not the same player, different demeanor, different situation. But it's another situation of an organization that didn't really build around their star quarterback properly. And you just had to work with what you had. And I just don't feel like Cam's attitude and how he approached the game was just inadequate, in my opinion.
You're right, man. I just think it's too much.
I
think it's too
much negativity.
Yeah, too much negativity. That's why we're here, man.
Like build the young guys up, man. Like,
yeah, man. Like, look, I will always say, and I've said on this thing, man. Look, just because you're not good in the NFL is not saying you weren't a good football player.
Dude, the NFL will make or break you. Like,
because you made it, right? It's just you're going against guys with the same vision that are just as good as you.
Yeah.
So, that's where it becomes more of a mental edge than physical because everybody's good. Mm-hmm. So just because you might say, oh, you're a bust, you're ass. Nah, you just ass at the professional level. But in terms of your overall body of work, nah, you're not ass because if you were, you probably wouldn't have made it.
You wouldn't have been in that situation.
Yeah, so I've always said that. I was like, I'll never call anybody ass like football player because that's not true. But if you're a NFL player and you ass, man, that's just what it is. You're just an ass NFL player.
Hey, if you're not, this is how I look at it. People can see people's ass. You know how hard it is for a guy to get upgraded from the practice squad? You know how hard it is to even be on an NFL practice squad to start with?
Mm-hmm.
Some guys get stuck in the IFL and in the Arena League. Sometimes people get lucky enough to get called up to the CFL. Like the CFL is literally the next closest thing to the NFL.
Yeah.
And Chad, even for instance, I think it was Chad Johnson. He played in the CFL for a little while, and he's like, man, he's looking around thinking there's gonna be a drop off, and he's like, nah, these guys are freaking good. Mm-hmm. He's like, there's no drop off. He's like, these guys are athletes. So it's like,
and if they don't get picked up by the NFL, those are the best players in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta think like just because you're not good to play like at the NFL level, you're still really good in the whole country. You know, we ain't talking about a little country either. Canada's huge,
pretty big.
So and so yeah, but let's get into the meat of the show, man. I think we went on a tangent, real long tangent, but
let's for all you guys, LSU Bama breakdown, schedule, roster, storylines. Let's get it.
DeAndrew White, one of the wide receivers, is now out to the right. Jim McElwain calling the plays, hammering away at the clock right now. And Richardson breaks free on the sideline. End zone. How about that? Finally, a touchdown between these two.
You can do it. Play fake to Edwards-Helaire. Ball down from Oliver. Caught. Touchdown, Jamal Chase.
Jones goes to the end zone. Oh, what a catch! Devontae Smith. Touchdown, Alabama.
Holy cow.
Defensive lineman in.
Bama's got to get a stop or their playoff hopes are over. They still had an extra guy in the field. Barely get him off. Daniels for the win.
Mason Taylor, bro. That was a good play call, man.
That was a
Damn,
crazy ending.
That was a good play call, man. I will say that Smitty catch on Stingley, bro. That shit was nice. I was like, yo, to rearrange your body mid-flight to go get that ball. Like I thought he was throwing that shit away. I was like, oh, he's throwing that away.
No,
bro.
dude said, Loop.
He's throwing that away. Like, okay, we'll get it next time. Nah, he went up and got that. I was like, yeah, he probably winning the Heisman this year after that shit.
That's what any of you guys playing receiver. That's what your position coach is always going to tell you, to go up and attack. Don't wait on the ball. Go up and attack the ball, because the defensive back's going to attack you and they're going to attack the ball. You got to go up and get it.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Nah, that was a good. Like I said, LSU, Bama, man. Y'all know, I'm the Bama fan. That's the LSU fan of this whole thing we got, man. So we're gonna get into it.
You know what's crazy though is that LSU doesn't have like a really big defined rivalry, but the rivalry of Bama is just as good as damn near any other rivalry, in my opinion. To say it's not the same as like the other ones, does that make sense?
For me, man, I think y'all do have a rival though.
Yeah, but not like big time. Like I'm saying, like prime time, like Ohio State, Penn State, USC, Notre Dame, like just big time. You know what I mean?
Like, all right. So for me, if I'm
Florida State, stuff like that.
Like if I'm going into like my LSU like fandom, right? If I'm an LSU fan, right?
Nice. Purple is good on you.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the team like my basketball team, so it's kind of the same.
Yeah, it's okay. Same thing. You'd be all right.
So if I'm going like thinking like an LSU fan, and I'm thinking over the course of like my time watching SEC football, so it's like 20 years almost. So I'm thinking your biggest rival, in my opinion, would probably be either Florida or Auburn.
Who? Wait, who are you talking about?
For y'all, because I've always watched
Arkansas.
Arkansas, right? Because that's like a regional thing.
Yeah.
But I will say, since I've been watching, it's just like 20 years of watching, I do think that Florida has always been a good game for LSU. I've always enjoyed those. Auburn, I've always enjoyed those, especially when Malzahn and I want to say Les Miles was there.
A&M's a good one too.
A&M, yeah.
A&M's a really good one.
Yeah, I'd say so.
They're just not a big time. It's not like a staple that everybody recognizes. You know what I mean? Like Florida State, Ohio State, Penn State, just like that. You know what I mean? Like, but it feels like LSU Bama is like as good as any of the ones, just without any strings attached, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Yeah. Alabama Auburn is huge, but it's just like, man, when you're going into the season, whether you're an SEC fan or not, you got the LSU Bama game circled, regardless of the circumstances, because this could be a top 5 matchup. This could be a top 25 matchup. It don't matter. Like the game's going to be there. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I can see that. Like I said, it's kind of like Bama and Georgia right now. Like
it's kind of the same as that. It's kind of
it's like not necessarily like no hatred between the teams, right?
I will say LSU Bama, they got hatred though. To an extent, not like to the same as Alabama Auburn, but
it's bad.
A mutual respect thing.
It's all right. So the hatred I feel like for like the Bama LSU is more so rooted in the fact Nick Saban left, right? I think that's where it starts. Yeah. But then it's like the home games, right? Because when we played y'all at home for a while, it hasn't been pretty. And it's like, yo, why do they keep beating us here? What is going on? Right? Like, we could go there and beat them a few times, right? But them coming here is a bad thing. And I feel like that's where a lot of the hatred comes from. It's like, yo, all right, man, they can't just be beating us at home all the time, right? Which is why I think when y'all come on the road to Bryant-Denny,
You'd be hungry, bro.
I think that's where it's like, all right, that's why y'all be acting a fool when y'all win. Like, yo, no, come to LSU, like shit like that. Like carrying dude off the field. I was like, yo, did he win a Super Bowl or something? I was like, yo. But that's when I started to realize, I was like, okay, LSU, they got a lot of pent up aggression when they play on the road, right?
Yeah, them road games, like, dude, getting wins in the SEC on the road means so much more. Like, yeah, it's good when you can. It's good when you have, like, it's good. Okay, for instance, I don't want to get too off topic, but like, if you're an LSU Bama team, you're in the top 5 to top 10 most hostile environments in the country, and that's a great freaking vocal point. But when you can go on the road in the SEC and say, for instance, it doesn't matter if you're LSU Bama or you have to go in the swamp or you have to go to freaking Aggie Land, freaking Texas A&M, Kyle Field. Like, those games on the road are hard, bro. Like, playing in that hostile environment and that kind of conference. So, yeah, I'd be hype as hell, too. Like, being able to win on the road in the SEC is like, it's like we always call it the gauntlet. We use that word a lot on this show, but like winning on the road at the SEC is like a gauntlet.
Yeah.
Because, like, for instance, look at Florida. Florida got the shaft 2 years in a row with their freaking schedule, especially their SEC schedule. They got completely shafted, especially the games on the freaking road, man. They're going to have a freaking hard time. I think they'll be good, but that just goes to show, bro, winning on the road in the SEC is no easy feat.
Yeah, man. And, like, that's why I think the run that both programs have been on, right? A couple of national titles between both schools. And it's like, all right, well, you know, if LSU is any good, you'll see it in the Bama game.
Mm-hmm.
Like that just seems like the measuring stick for, like, especially after that.
I just noticed something too. It's like I think I was watching Matt talk the other day. He was like, anytime LSU's like on the cusp of being in a national championship, winning a national championship, they always go on the road and beat Bama in Tuscaloosa every time. So what's like, or like if they just a Heisman Trophy winner, anything like that, it's like they always go into there and they win. Like when Daniels won, they won in Tuscaloosa. When Burrow and them won, they won in Tuscaloosa. Like all those big seasons. I want to say the year with the greatest game of the century, that was in Tuscaloosa too, correct?
Yeah.
So it's a trend. So
yeah, I mean, but that was like the measuring stick in my opinion, you know, like because you knew LSU was talented, right? And if they beat Bama, it's like, all right, they're a good team. They for real. But the thing, what would always happen, well, not always, but what would happen is y'all would have a difference maker at quarterback. Like every time y'all have gotten us, no matter where it was. Before Nick Saban, y'all had some pretty good guys, right? You some capable quarterbacks, at least that could move, right?
Yeah.
I want to say Matt Flynn.
Matt Flynn was Les Miles' area.
So he wasn't the greatest, but he could move around.
He could get it done though.
Yeah, and then y'all had Jefferson who could move around. But you also at that time y'all had Jared Lee though. Jared Lee was starting there.
Hey, Jared Lee could spin it, bro.
Yeah, Jared Lee was good, right? Mettenberger gave us some problems.
Hey, Mettenberger, nobody gives that dude credit, bro. Like Matt was talking to us on that interview, and he's like, dude, like they don't realize that dude balled out in 2013, bro. Like that offense was good.
Yeah, so Mettenberger. Then you got Joe Burrow, you got Jaden Daniels, right? You know, you get a lot of dudes, man, that really like when you have that difference maker at quarterback, that's how you do it, right? Mm-hmm. So as we get into, you know, the nitty gritty, right, of the show, I gotta let you talk about your Tigers, man. So we got, for audio listeners, we got Brian Kelly on the screen. He is the head coach of the LSU Tigers. Like I said, good team. What do you think about your team first?
Okay,
like going into the season.
So I'm just gonna give an overview of the schedule, and I guess me and you can kind of go back and forth on what we think the record will be. So when I look at this schedule, obviously the biggest asterisk is week 1. You got Clemson, and this isn't a neutral site either. This is in Memorial Stadium, Clemson. So that's a huge deal. Clemson's loaded from top to bottom.
Yeah, that's a big
But I will say though, like I think a lot of people are starting to think it's a shoe-in, but when you start looking at the additions LSU made, and I'm not gonna go on a big tangent because we're gonna get into that, I think the playing field's a bit more level than what if you were looking at what team they had last year, I'd say, yeah, this is like Clemson's obviously the better team. But I think when you start looking at it logistically, I think it's a really good matchup. Now start going down the schedule. The only other games I'm like could be trap games for me. You got to play South Carolina at home. That's an interesting one for me. I want to see how your defense is going to play with Sellers. You got some really good games at home though. You get A&M at home. That's good. You have to go to Tuscaloosa. That's going to be obviously the big test. Arkansas at home. You have to go to Oklahoma. That's kind of an interesting matchup. But LSU doesn't have a crazy hard schedule. Like it's tough, but it's not like Florida schedule. I'm like, man, it's going to be a bumpy ride. Like you're going to have to really pull up your britches. So for me, like the biggest games for me, I feel like are like the ones you need to watch are Clemson at Alabama, and I think that Oklahoma game could be interesting because I want to see because defensively they're going to play disciplined, but I want to see how having Mateer as your quarterback now. I want to see how that offense. I've got to assume they're going to play substantially better than what they did last year.
Yeah. So all right. So obviously I'll start with Brian Kelly, right? So for me, Brian Kelly is actively the best coach in the game right now in terms of wins, where he's done wins and being a good recruiter, right? Even under duress, it seems like, right? His run at LSU has been up and down, right? He got to a SEC title game, right? So that's a big deal, right? He went through the gauntlet. You just had to play a Georgia team that was kind of really good, bro. Like they was good on defense, man. You can't go wrong with that, right? They just were, right? But they fought in that game, and that was really, really cool to see, right? You got a glimpse into the future with Nussmeier getting into the game too. So it was interesting, right? So fast forward to like this year, this is arguably the best team he's gonna have there, right? At least right now, right? You return the best quarterback probably in the SEC. I think I'm fair in saying that. You got some weapons that you got in the transfer portal, including Barry and Brown, who I think if he fixes the drop issue, he's gonna be stupid. Like,
oh no, he could be a top 10 pick if
like,
he just fixes the dropping.
Like I think that transfer it has the potential to be as important as Jameson Williams was to us, right? You're gonna get a guy that's an impact dude. Like, hey, make a play for us. That's the kind of guy I think he can be, right? So you do that, right? But you add some stuff on defense, a lot of stuff, man, including recruits and everything. So I think this is the best team that he's had by far. No excuse, no holes for real.
Top to bottom.
Top to bottom, this is the best team he's had, right?
Mm-hmm.
So going into the schedule, right? The thing that I'm looking at is the first and the last games of the year, right? So you're playing the best quarterback in college football, and arguably that's Cade Klubnik, right? You look on all the publications, Cade Klubnik is getting a lot of love across the board, right? So that's a tough one, man. Because Clemson, this is their claim to fame. Who has the real Death Valley, right? So their fans are going to be trying to show out, right? So I think that's going to be a tough game. I haven't even really decided who I thought will win because it's pretty much down the middle. Like Clemson got good players on defense. Y'all got good players on offense. Vice versa. So I think field position might be the one thing right there. Who got the best punter? And I don't know. But whoever got the best punter on that particular day might win that game, right? But the game against Oklahoma has a chance to either hurt your season to the
Make or
point
break you.
where, yeah, it has a chance to break your season because you had a couple losses, but everybody else did too, right? So now it's like, oh, well, will they make the playoffs? Even low teens, you know what I'm saying? Or low 12 or whatever, right? Do you have a chance to make it at that point, right? Now, if you go through the table, right? Oh, we win everything, right? You beat Bama, you go run the table to that game. That's a dangerous game depending on how mature is playing. If they let him play like Caleb Williams and just spin that shit like he was at Washington, that's a problem. Because I don't know how good y'all secondary is. It's not the best like it used to be, where you had to shut down. You had Morris Claiborne here and Patrick Peterson on the other side, or you had Stingley and then Kevin Tolliver or something. You got these studs out there, so I don't have that faith right there, right? But I think the biggest game for y'all, should you beat Clemson week 1, is Florida. That's a big one because you playing good quarterbacks. Like, this ain't just like, oh, the whole hum season. You know what I'm saying? You got Clay Kubnick in week 1. You got Lagway in week 3. Sellers October 11th against South Carolina. You got Pavia and whatever he can give you. I don't know who's starting at Texas A&M, but you got maybe Marcel Reed too. Like, he might be starting there. Then you got Alabama, so you don't know who Ty Simpson's gonna be. But at that point, he could be on fire, right? And then you got the transfer guy, Mater at Oklahoma. So you're playing some really good quarterbacks to start out the season. So what does your secondary do? That's my biggest thing for LSU. If their secondary can hold up against these guys, then cool. Because you can get beat on the ground. But if you get beat by both, that's dangerous.
I think my biggest thing is, and we'll go and pick the schedule after. I think the biggest thing for me, I like DJ. And I'm not gonna make it all about him, but like, I like Lagway. But until he can prove to me that he can complete a higher percentage of his passes, I feel like that offense is kind of a little bit more one-dimensional. I feel like if you can kill him in the pass game, you're going to force him to run. And I feel like with what additions LSU did make on defense with the returning guys they have, I think they'll play the run a lot better, especially with the mobile quarterbacks. Like, because if you look at Blake Baker, he goes to Missouri initially. Missouri's like won something in defense, and within 2 seasons, he's got them within the top 25 or so.
I'm coming back.
Okay. Yeah, not a problem. But my biggest thing is gets them there right there away. He made me kind of forget what I was going to say. He made me kind of forget what I was going to say. Oh, what was I going to say? Okay, now I think I know what it was. Defensively, like the first year of Daniels, the second year of Daniels, with Blake Baker's first year, they weren't really that great. Had they been somewhat more competent and be able to get things done, I feel like LSU probably is a playoff team. Last year, they didn't play mobile quarterbacks really well. Marcel Reed and them ran all over them. The defense was better. Like, not great, but they improved. Statistically, they were better. No. If you look at that transition he had at Missouri, you're looking going into year 2 or year 3, whatever it may be. This defense is going to be improved. The transfer portal additions we're going to get into, like, those are a big deal. Because you didn't go just sign a bunch of guys who don't have playing time or playing experience. You brought in a lot of guys in the offseason who have a lot of that experience. So, like, if you're riding the trend and you're looking at what they were able to do, like in the portal and everything defensively, you got a lot of guys who have a lot of field experience, a lot of guys who are very athletic, who can really fit the scheme. You're following the trend of what Baker was able to do previously. You're looking at it like, yeah, you weren't able to contain mobile quarterbacks last year, but those positions you needed to improve on to be able to contain that, you got that. If you're following that trend, this defense is going to be even more improved. They weren't spectacular last year, but statistically they were improved. So if you're following the trend, this year they're going to be even better because the talent's even better. And the returning players you have are your big impact players as well. So I look at those mobile guys. I think they'll play them a lot better this year. I'm not saying they're going to be able to fully contain them, but I think up front, because that's where it starts. Mobile quarterbacks, if you're not able to get them within the first couple yards, get in the open space and they're freaking gone, a.k.a. Jalen Milroe last year. I think they will improve in that department for sure. So, I mean, but we can get into the schedule if you're ready. Oh, I think you're still muted, Cam.
There we go. I'm back. All right. So let's see, man. Tougher all time is probably the SEC in my opinion.
Even the OG SEC from like way back, like the Swami days or whatever, they were still really good back then.
Yeah,
like,
the SEC was tough, bro. Like
don't sleep.
Players. Like, and then once they did the integration, that was it.
That was
bro.
over with.
It's over. It was
but give
done.
Big Ten, but give the Big Ten respect. They got a plethora of legendary players, but don't sleep on the SEC even going further back.
Nah, bro, don't sleep on the Pac 10, 8, 10, 12. Like that's what started the SEC integrating anyway. When USC came down to what's that, Alabama, and played them and they beat the shit out of them. It's like, whoa, we need some of that. we need a couple Sam Bam Cunninghams. That's what we need. We need some of that. So, but like I said, the Pac-12 was really good back in the day. But like I said, well, they had the best bowl game anyway. The Rose Bowl was like the best shit ever, bro. Like back in the day, it meant a whole lot, man. But in terms of the schedule, man, all right. So for me, I can see 2, maybe 3 losses.
Okay. So you want to go game by game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got at Clemson.
So for me, I would say if I'm just the outsider looking in, right? Judging off of everything y'all did and everything they did and everything they got coming and y'all as well. I think this game is a wash, both of them. I think it's going to be a close loss for y'all, but it not change anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
The season is still in front.
It's an out-of-conference game, too. So if you take the L, if you take the L, it doesn't completely hurt you, but it does kind of, not going to say dampen your vibe, because you really need to come out this year and get the win because you're 3 years in and you haven't won yet in week 1.
Yeah, so
you've got them taking the loss. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's a one-possession game, being anywhere between 3 and 7 points, being 3 and 7 points. But I think this is the game that will show if Nussmeier is ready to embrace that moment and make the right decision. Because last year, in those big moments, there were good times and there were bad times. I think that the media is going gaga over Clemson. I think Clemson is still a top 3 team, questionably the top team. But I think, and this is bias aside, I'm going to be completely unbiased here, but I think LSU breaks the trend. I think they win week 1 for the first time since Kelly's been there. And it's a huge momentum booster. I just want to see how they answer back after a win like that, like not getting caught in the lights and just staying kind of level-headed going forward. So I've got them 1-0 at that point.
Okay. I think y'all take care of Louisiana Tech. That's nothing. Okay. So, I think y'all take care of Florida. I think y'all got a little bit more than them. I'd say next year.
And it's at home, too. If it was in Gainesville, it would be different, I feel like.
I think next year Florida would – if y'all played them next year, I would probably take Florida in that game.
Yeah, because Lagway's got another year of experience.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So y'all should take care of Southern Louisiana.
You've got them at 3-1. I got them 4-0.
Yeah, I think y'all should beat Ole Miss because I think
they lost a lot.
Yeah, they lost a lot, and I don't think they brought in enough to make up the difference. So I think y'all take care of them. So, and for me, they're 4-1. So I think South Carolina. Let me see. So if y'all struggle with Clemson as far as stopping the run with Klubnik, then I would
You would lean more to South Carolina in
Yeah,
that respect.
but if it's just square like it is now, just what we know, I actually think y'all have enough to beat them.
I think they have more talent than South Carolina. South Carolina is just athletic.
Yeah,
They have a lot of athleticism.
yeah, I
But
think y'all got enough to beat them. But here's why I say y'all might lose, because their pass rush is wild. Like they got Dylan Stewart, and then they replaced him with someone else, right? So that's the thing. And y'all lost a big, big deal at offensive lineman, right? And y'all actually have a young offensive lineman. I
they
checked
have
out
some
your
experienced guys too that they brought in.
yeah, but not like years. We're not talking about you just brought in, a Landon Dickerson, right? That's
No,
been
but
playing for a while. Y'all got like some red shirt sophomores, right? So not that much experience, but enough to get the job done. But my thing is, how did they gel up until this point, right? Because you're dealing with an otherworldly type defense that, at least up front, is pretty athletic. So that's my thing, right? With Nussmeier needing to run a lot more, he might have to use his legs in this game, right? So I'm going to lean LSU right now because I feel like y'all got more than them. But this is gonna be a good game. So I got y'all 5-1.
I'm still undefeated right now, but I'm not the most confident about that game. That game could go either way. I think you can beat Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt, although they will be scrappy. I just don't think they have enough talent. They just don't have enough to compete. The next game is the A&M game, although it is in Baton Rouge. It's hard to be undefeated in this time frame we're in, being in a 12-team playoff. So I'm going to have them taking the loss to A&M at home. I just think A&M, Elko's coming into another year. A&M had their number last year. Marcel Reed's coming into this season. I think if I'm going to give them a loss at home, I'm going to give them that A&M as a loss.
Okay.
So 7-1 up at this point.
All right. So I got Alabama winning this, right? And it's not biased aside, it is, but because I'm being biased, of course. But I do think that this game is gonna be probably two undefeated teams. I think.
Hey, and that's the best way to have it. It's definitely a possibility. It's hard to be undefeated.
I think it's gonna be an undefeated battle in this one, man, because I'm cautiously optimistic about my team, which I'll get into. But I do think both of us make the playoffs. I do. Under this circumstance right now, I do think we get 4 teams in because we cold like that. But I do think this is the seeding part of it, right? Should everything go square after that, no losses, upsets, and everything. I think whoever wins this is probably, since they don't have conferences or divisions,
No divisions anymore, no.
So it could be a rematch for the title game, depending on obviously how Georgia does and Texas and shit like that, right? But I mean, y'all got a good route to it. You don't have to play Georgia. You don't have to play Texas. So that's a good start, right? So I think y'all take that loss. So y'all on mine, you're with 2 losses, right?
Yeah.
So I think y'all take care of Arkansas, who might be under some really coaching changes, because I don't see what Arkansas got for real. It should be Western Kentucky, and then we get to Oklahoma, right? So that could change in my schedule. I think it could change your season, right? Because you don't want to drop this game.
It solidifies you or kicks you out, depending on how the other games go.
Yeah. So under your thing, you probably have 1 loss, right? But you don't want to make it 2. And then
but you can make it in with 2 losses now, though.
Yeah,
if we were in the 4 team, I'd be like, no, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Now I feel like 2 is kind of like your cutoff. Like you might sneak in with 3, but you want to keep it 2 or less because
Unless you win the conference.
Yeah, but it kind of gets taken out of your hands at that point. You're kind of having to just watch the TV at that point to just hope that the dominoes fall in your favor if you lose more than 2 games. It's the same thing with how you guys, South Carolina, Ole Miss were last year. Everybody's sitting at like 3 losses, and they're all kind of just having to sit on hands and knees, just waiting to see like what's going to happen, you know?
Yeah, it shouldn't have been 3.
But
dumbass.
And I said A&M. I think LSU finished the season with 1 loss. I don't know who the 1 loss could be. It could be Clemson. It could be Bama. It could be Oklahoma. But I think they finished 11-1. I think just top to bottom roster, and we'll get into all that. I just think the schedule's playing into their favor this year. It's not a really, really tough schedule. Like you said, you don't play those other 2 teams either. So
yeah. So like I said, we're gonna keep going. I want to get into your thoughts on your offense. What you thinking?
Well, I mean, Barry and Brown could be a huge addition, but let's talk about Aaron Anderson, former Alabama receiver. Dude's a freaking stud.
Yeah,
he could end up being the number 1 receiver in the conference. He's that good.
I know.
And this is the thing, LSU, like all LSU did offensively, especially with their receiver room, which they have one of the better receiver rooms in the conference, is get fast. Everybody in that receiver room's pushing like a 90 speed at least. If you're looking at it from like a game perspective, they're all fast. Barry and Brown, Aaron Anderson, you get Chris Hilton back. You get a guy from our alma mater, Kylan Billiot from Terrebonne. He's fast. You got ultra athletic. You get Nick Anderson from Oklahoma, who's questionably one of the best receivers in the country. You bring back Tradez Green at tight end. He's ultra athletic. Like you get another tight end from, I think, Oklahoma as well. The running back room is loaded. Like the offense, like I think it's going to be one of those fast paced, just like either throw it all over you. And if they're able to run the ball, then their play action game is going to be crazy. If they're able to run the ball efficiently with Durham and Caleb Jackson and maybe the true freshman Harlan Berry, if they can run the ball and make you respect them running the ball defensively, their play action game could be crazy because there's so much speed. He's going to fake the freaking handoff and just throw it over the top. Somebody's going to get open. Somebody's going to take the top off. They can't cover everybody. There's just too much speed. So offensively, I think it's just going to come down to the running game. If the running game is even decent, it's going to open the entire rest of the offense up. They're going to have to respect the run, and it's going to be able to open up stretching the field and be able to throw it all over everybody, in my opinion.
No, that's fair, man. I think the biggest question mark for me is your offensive line, man. I think that's the biggest thing for LSU this season. I think losing Will Campbell, obviously big loss, right? But you didn't replace it with anyone that would match what he gave you, right? So it's gonna be a collective effort from everybody. Not just we know we got this stud at left tackle. What about everybody else?
Yeah, and you lost Emory Jones too.
Exactly. So I think Dillinger too, right? Because
there's only the one guy playing center, and he's kind of already out of position. But at least you're not, like you said before, you're not going into the season with guys who have never seen the field. Like these guys that have not the most experience, but having any experience is better than none. Yeah, and I feel like that's going to help, especially with a lot of the guys on the offense that were already in there. I think that's going to help the camaraderie and chemistry. Because, like I said, I think pass blocking, they'll be fine. It's just opening those holes in the run game. I think that's going to be the make or break for them.
Yeah, no. Most definitely, man. So that was just my biggest thing. I think I got weapons all over the field, man. But up front is like my biggest concern if I'm an LSU fan. I'm like, dude, we got all of these players, but can we get the ball to them? That's the thing. You want to be able to get the ball in space, Caden Durham's really fast. So I wouldn't like to see that against Alabama, but I would like to see how good they could really be because this is a good team.
It makes me feel like they'd have to run like high tempo almost. with so much speed. Like, I feel like if you run like a fast pace, not like Lane Kiffin style, but if you play fast paced, I feel like you get a lot of people out of position.
I'd say if y'all had more of a mobile quarterback. Like, don't get me wrong, Nussmeier can run, but he's not mobile like that. I'd say if y'all had, who's a good guy? If y'all had Lenora Sellers, that
He
fast
just,
paced shit would be stupid.
oh yeah, is if you just can fix the completions. He's just inaccurate down the field.
Shit, man, that's okay. That's all right, man. We gonna get it. Cause you gotta think we going fast. So everything gonna be quick, and then you throw it down there somewhere.
I do like the idea of doing something like that though. When you have running backs like they have, running those quick pace like screens and stuff, that'll be a really valuable asset too, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, I think Nussmeier, for y'all to go real fast, would have to run a lot.
And I
And
think
I
they've
don't
started
want him to do
implement.
that.
No, but I have heard a lot. Like they have like influenced him to make those decisions more. Like some little QB wraps here and there, maybe a read option here, nothing crazy. But I think they've kind of opened that door for him to be comfortable and to embrace, like, hey, sometimes I can scoop for a couple yards for a first down, or sometimes I can just do, like, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I think that'll be a major thing.
No, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Like I said, man. Then we get into your defense, though. Let's get into that, man. Y'all got a lot on there, man. So, like I said, obviously, you get into it. They got a lot of stuff. They got a lot of stuff.
I feel like their defensive additions are even better than the offensive ones. Like, especially the guys on defense, like those guys are like some all-conference players, like All-American. Like they did really good, especially in the secondary. But I like what they did up front. You get Harold Perkins come back. You get Whit Weeks come back, who he shined last year with Perkins being out and him able to really embrace. Now you're going to be able to put Perkins in more of a star place to where he can kind of like be more of an impact player. You get a guy like Pyburn from Florida on the defensive line, Patrick Payton. You get a freaking 5-star DJ Pickett. You got guys in the secondary who have a lot of experience as well. Like, this is a very talented defense, and that's biased aside. When you're just looking at paper, like the guys they were able to bring into the portal alone, not even counting recruiting, they're talented. And I like what Blake Baker has done. We've seen strides from that last year. Not great, but they improved vastly. So I anticipate the same thing. You got a lot of experience and a lot of impact players on defense. So I anticipate them to make more strides. I think having Weeks and Perkins in there at the same time is crazy. That's insane. You have a disruptor and Pyburn on the line. Like, I just think there's always room for a big play with the guys they have on defense now. I think I'm very underrated, and I like the fact that nobody's really talking about that, because that means they can sneak up on you and really punch you in the freaking mouth. Like, just like how you say a freaking phone booth. Like, you can put you in the phone booth and rough you up. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. So I really like what they've done on defense. My biggest thing is, and Matt said the same thing, is questions the secondary. I need to see y'all make better strides in the pass game, being able to contain those plays downfield.
Yeah.
We need better pressure up front, which I think they've addressed that. I think they'll be good there. And then the other thing is just being able to play smart when it comes to mobile quarterbacks. Like, and I feel like they've got good speed up front too. So I feel like those big opportunities, like what Milroe had and Sellers had, I feel like they'll be able to minimize that to an extent. You might not be able to fully contain it because the guys are just that talented, but I just feel like top to bottom, this defense is really, really talented.
Okay, no. I'm just excited to see DJ Pickett. I like, dude. He's got size. He's like super long, like kind of like Eli Ricks, man. Like just stupid long. Slap you across the room, laying in the bed. That's how long his arms are, right? So like, I want to see how he plays, man. I think from the depth chart I was looking at online, like he's might be second string, but I think he's gonna be so good that you're just gonna have to play him.
Oh, they're gonna let him. I think they're gonna let him get looks for sure.
Yeah, you're gonna have to play him on the outside because you're gonna need that length and wingspan to stop a lot of these receivers you're gonna play, you know. So I think he's gonna be good, and I think he probably gets in the running for probably first team all freshman. So I think he's gonna get that, man. But LSU's gonna be good this year, man. They're gonna be good. But now we gotta shift focus to my team. My team, man.
Auburn.
Oh hell no. Disgusting. Filthy. Sick.
A for Arkansas, right?
No. I do like bacon bits. I do. I do like the bacon bits.
How did Matt say that? Someone they worship a swine.
They worship a swine. Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah, but I fucks with Arkansas, man. I'm sorry. I do. I like Brett Bielema. I like Sam Pittman. So like I said, y'all fucks with Arkansas. So, but definitely not A for Arkansas. A for Alabama. You know what I'm saying?
A&M.
No.
Alabama A&M.
No. Disgusting. No, but UAB, even more disgusting. No. Like, no, we're not doing it. All right, so obviously, we bring back Kalen DeBoer. I feel like this is officially year one. Like last year was kind of year zero. You can't come into a season with more bullshit than he had to deal with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Saban leaves, so you're scrambling to get the transfer guys to keep your dudes from going to the transfer portal, which a lot of people did. But coming into that season last year, I felt more confident because we were in y'all position. We had the best returning player, quarterback, like we did. He was the guy, right? So I felt good. Like, okay, well, Kalen DeBoer, it might be a little of an adjustment because obviously he's not Michael Penix in terms of passing the ball. But I was like, okay, I felt real good coming into that because we kept some pieces and we added some pieces here or there, right? But I felt like Jalen Milroe was going to take the next step, right? Georgia game looked really good. After that, not so much. He reverted back to what he ultimately was last season, the season before that. So it didn't turn out right. But defensively, last season, I was very impressed with how we played at the end of the year. Like, I might be loosely saying this, but I knew for a fact we were top 25 defense last year, right? We could stop people. But offensively, it was so inconsistent that you really didn't see the defense really dominate like that. Because it'd be like, oh, we got a 2-touchdown lead. And then offense does nothing for 3 quarters. And now we're in a dogfight with South Carolina, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my whole thing, right? I was very impressed with the defense. Now, shifting focus to this year, right? Obviously, Jalen Milroe leaves, gets drafted. You lose some locker room leaders like Malachi Moore. You lose people like that. You lost Justice Haynes to Michigan. That's a running back. You lose some other guys, right? But what you add is now a lot of these other 5 stars are going to get some shine because everybody left. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about the defense. The defense, I think every position has a top 5 SEC player in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key, right? You got Deontay Lawson, one of the best linebackers in the SEC. You got Damani Jackson, transfer from USC. He's actually pretty good, right? Maybe not man to man in terms of like I wouldn't put him on Barry and Brown. I don't think he's fast enough for that. But in terms of being able to make tackles in space, I like that. Do your job. Just do it and call it a day. I like Xavier Brown, the corner on the other side, right? So I like that, right? He was a freshman last year and was on the island by himself. That's how you find out how good you are, right? So we got some things, right? But I like Keanu Keeley. Like, I'm glad he's gonna get some playing time. Like, you haven't seen him. play because he's been kind of figuring out what position is he? Is he outside linebacker? Is he a defensive end? Do we stand him up? Do we put him in the dirt? Just trying to figure out how to use him to his greatest capability. And him being like 6'5" is crazy because now, we got somebody else. So I like that. So defensively, I think we are good. We are really good. And I think that's how we win a lot of these games, right? Just looking at right now. Offensively, I'm looking I'd say more confident than I was at the middle of last season, right? When we started to see kind of Milroe play this weird brand of football, right? That's so exciting, but then it's like, what are you doing?
It's like it's
saying?
like Fitz magic or Fitz tragic.
Yeah, like literally. So I'm more confident offensively, but I don't know what Ty Simpson is. I seen little spurts, right? Like, damn, he can run a little bit. He ain't slow. I seen him throw the ball, pretty far, right? 50, 60 yards, maybe, right? I seen him do that. I seen him throw the ball, on the run a lot better, right? That's the key. Get out the pocket, make some moves. So, yeah, got some good running backs. We got a good offensive line, probably the first overall pick in the draft next year, and Caden Proctor, who's all 6'6", 330 pounds. Like, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably your best lineman in the SEC in terms of like going into the season. So we'll see. We'll see. But I'm excited. But in terms of the schedule, man, I think we knock off Florida State. I think this how bad this game is depends on if Mike Norvell keeps his job. I think that's how big this is. Like, it's not about Alabama winning; it's about how much.
Can you keep it close?
Yeah, I don't think they added enough.
They got that transfer quarterback in. That's going to be interesting to see how that goes.
He wasn't shit with Boston College. That's why
he talking mad.
Yeah, I heard it. I heard him say that. I was like, dude, why can't
Look,
y'all
bro,
just focus on?
FSU just ain't back, bro.
Yeah, man, they are actually further off than you think. Like, if you think getting dudes from Boston College is gonna help you win, no, it's not. It's not. Yeah. So I don't know, but it's a big game nonetheless on the road, right? So you gotta respect that. But I think we got too much. Obviously, I think we take care of Monroe. I think we take care of Wisconsin because I don't think Wisconsin has enough either. So all three of them games is like, hey, let's figure this shit out before we go to Georgia.
And then you got at Athens.
So I actually think we can win this game, bro. I think we can win this game. And I think we can win this game because I think we are faster on defense. And I think we're going to plug up a lot of their runs because they're going to be – one thing I know about Kirby Smart is the quarterback isn't going to lose us the game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And when you start doing that, that's when we start running the ball again. That's what Kirby Smart – that's the Nick Saban thing. Like, you're not going to lose us the game. We'll run this motherfucker all day to keep you from throwing interceptions. You know what I'm saying? So – I think they're going to shelter that quarterback that they got this year.
Stockton.
Yeah, I think they're going to shelter him, and that might be to their downfall. Man. So then we got Vanderbilt, which is going to be that's going to be lit. I mean,
it's not going to be pretty.
I don't think so.
Pavia's been talking too much. And I know Chris is giving Ryan Williams a lot of crap for what he's saying, but like, come on, bro. Like, you know what it is.
Yeah, man. Like last year, y'all literally got lucky, man. That's all it is. That's what it was. Y'all played keep away all game, which is a fair strategy when you're trying to pull an upset. Like, I ain't mad at it. But to say, oh man, we really whooped their ass, like, not necessarily, bro.
No, and that's not something you should be doing.
Y'all just took the air out of the ball to the point where our possessions meant a lot more.
And not even just that, bro. Y'all playing them at home. Like, I would not be talking that level of smack going to that environment. That is a horrible idea.
Yeah.
Horrible. It's not going to be pretty.
But like I said, man, I'm excited to see just to see what happens, man.
I just want to see y'all smack them.
Yeah, me too. I want to see how we come into that.
I want y'all to, how do I say it? I want to see y'all snap them back to reality. Like, no, put you back in your place. Go back to being the bottom feeder. You don't belong. Like, time to go back to where you belong.
Yeah, I agree, man. But I think we're undefeated going into Missouri. I think we take care of Missouri.
Yeah,
right?
they don't have nearly.
But it's an early game, so those are a little tricky sometimes. Right? I think we take care of Tennessee because I don't think they added enough in terms of quarterback. I think the level of quarterback every year has decreased since Hendon Hooker left.
That next game could be a trap game.
No,
I'm not saying y'all lose, but I think
we dropped this one.
I don't think so. I think y'all can go in there and beat them. I just think it's not a shoe in. I think y'all beat them.
I think we lose to them, which wakes us up for the next week, LSU. Because I think we've been sniffing our flowers too much at that point. Because I think we beat Florida State pretty bad, and we beat on Monroe, and we beat on Wisconsin, right? Then we up for Georgia, right? Because it's Georgia, right? But we still beat them in a way that's kind of convincing. I think kind of like that. You beat Vanderbilt, so that's another game you kind of up for, right? But then you go through Missouri, which is kind of a letdown a little bit. Then you go Tennessee, which is a rivalry, but you probably have a lot more going into it. I feel like South Carolina, they're going to be rocking. I think that atmosphere might cause us a little problems, right? And Lenore Sellers, too. I think he's going to be really, really good in this game. And I think we have a hard time stopping him. And I think they win in a shootout, right? But LSU, I think we wake up for that one. And we get that one by the skin of our teeth, though.
You get a 3-game homestand, too.
I think, really good opportunity to just lock the SEC up right then and there, right? So I like our chances against LSU just because of what we have up front versus what y'all have up front. I think that's the key. I think we got legit pass rushers this year, like not up front like big nasties, but I feel like the linebackers that can win their one-on-ones, I think that's the difference in that game, right? In a good game, probably prime time too. But I do think we take care of Oklahoma. I don't think they have enough. I think we actually are better in the secondary than we are up front. So if they try to spread us out, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be all right. I think we can still get enough pass rush and still cover because Damani's like 6'1", and then Xavier Brown's like 6'1". So your best receiver height shouldn't be an issue in that opinion. So then you get Eastern Illinois, right? And then we go to the Voodoo House, man. And I think we take care of them in the Voodoo House, but shit, when you fucking with Voodoo, ain't nothing. You can't pick that game, bro. Now I think we win, but ain't no telling what the fuck gonna happen when that eagle get to flying and shit. So I don't know. But I think we got one loss. I would be comfortable saying one loss at some point. I don't think you're going through the SEC undefeated. If you do, then you probably are on your way to being one of the best teams ever. But I do think one loss. And I think South Carolina would be the most comfortable I'll be saying about a loss. But I'm cautiously optimistic. So it's not like, oh, yeah, we're going 11-1. I'm not sure about that. That's just me spitballing right now. Tomorrow I could say we might have 2-3 losses, right? Because I might find something and I'm like, I don't like that going into this matchup. So, but right now I do feel 11-1.
Yeah, so I'm gonna follow suit. I've got 11-1. The only game I got y'all losing is to us. That's just
Actually, you know what? I wouldn't be mad about that because if we lost to y'all and we just kept on winning, we'll play y'all again in the title game.
Well, it's not even just that. If y'all drop the first game, guess what? You're on a 3-game homestand. So you're at home and you can shake back at home and get your shit together before you have to go to said voodoo house that you enjoy going to so much. So
Fuck that stadium, bro.
but that's how I see it. I think they match up really good against everybody. The South Carolina game could be a trap game. I just think y'all have more. I think y'all defense is respectable enough to be able to contain him. And if he can't, and I like Lenora Sellers, but if he can't improve his long distance accuracy, like 30, 40 yards plus downfield, then y'all will be just fine. Like, because that was a problem for him last year. Just couldn't complete the ball enough times downfield, and y'all secondary is good. So,
Yeah.
and y'all are fast everywhere. So I think y'all match up well with them. I think y'all win. It might not be a big win, but that's not a game that I'm like, oh, like y'all. No, I think y'all be fine.
Okay. So 11-1. Okay. I agree. Hey, I like 11-1, man. That's good, man. Kayla DeBoer be 11-1. I'm like, yes, sir.
I'm
Like,
most curious with y'all. I want to see. Dang, you got really excited there, but but I want to see him be able to run his offense the way he wants to run it now. He doesn't like this is no more like Saban era. This is you embracing like you're like how you want to run it. And now that him being able to run his offense to the capabilities he wants, we've seen what he was able to do with Penix and them dudes in Washington. I think the offense could be really good.
yeah, man. I think I'm like I said, I'm more confident on defense.
You know you ain't got to throw it to Ryan Williams every play now, so it'd be okay.
Yeah, nah, man. We are good at receiver, right? So we get into the offense, man. Some of the guys I'm excited about. So of course I'm interested to see what Ty Simpson, right? I mean, he earned his spot, man. You know, he pulled the Mac Jones. He's like, hey, I'm a highly touted dude. I just wait my turn. All right, here's your turn, buddy. Let's see what you can do. Right? It's your job to lose going into fall camp. So look, it's up to you, right? However, this team's gonna do on offense is gonna be led by him, right? I do like Jam Miller coming back. He's a hell of a receiver out the backfield. Really good. Almost you can line him up at receiver and get that mismatch on that linebacker or something, right? So I like him, but I also like Richard Young as a guy, former 5-star running back to spell him a little bit. I do think he might be a little bit quicker than Justice Haynes. I think Justice Haynes fits what Michigan wants to do, right? Pulling guards and shit and just hit the hole. That's kind of him. But in this offense, you need a little bit more shiftiness, quickness through the hole, and then the takeoff, right? And I think him and Richard Young are gonna have some really good success, man. Two-headed monster, ability to do that, right? Obviously, you got Ryan Williams coming back, but it's the other guys I'm actually excited about too. I'm excited about Horton and I'm excited about Bernard. All right. So both of that opens up Ryan Williams to be really what he is, right? Yeah, last season I felt like he was force fed too much, which went into his numbers going down because it's like, well, he just throwing to him. So we just double team Ryan Williams and
He's not
hopefully
gonna throw
everybody
nowhere
else.
else.
Yeah, but now you actually gotta worry about everybody else because Ty Simpson can pass the ball. I just don't know how well yet. But Caden Proctor, obviously, top 5 draft pick headed into the season, right? He's one of those ones. Like offensive line, I feel good. I feel real good. I think the opposite tackle is probably the biggest concern because I don't know. I think it might be Formby who started last year, but it wasn't necessarily pretty. He was getting kind of beat up, but he's also 6'7". So let's just throw him out there and see what he can do. So I do feel like the tackles inside is good. Everything's good on the offensive line. We got some pretty cool guys. We got Brailsford, who's probably the top center going into the draft this year, depending on who switches positions or whatever. But as far as pure centers, he's the one. So I do like that. So offensively, I'm cautiously optimistic. I think we could do some damage. We got some good players. I just want to see what Ty Simpson can do. Is he Greg McElroy, a good distributor, right? Because if he is, he got a national title. If you're talking about AJ McCarron, do what you got to do, clutch when we need it. National title. A few, right? Jake Coker, the same thing, right? Did what he's supposed to do. National title.
More Blake Sims.
Not the second year. Not the second year. Not the second year. The first time he got there, right? He lost that job to Blake Sims, right? Because Blake Sims was different, bro. Nobody had a Blake Sims. Blake Sims was just as fast as your linebackers and your DBs. Like, he couldn't necessarily throw like that, but shit, you couldn't catch him either. So hopefully he's closer to those guys more so than Blake Sims, right? But Blake Sims, like I said, Blake Sims was good, and Lane Kiffin gave him a shout out because it actually helped him build confidence as a play caller. Because if you can call plays and they work for Blake Sims, you can make plays and call plays for anybody. So it was good to see that. So, like I said, as long as Ty Simpson doesn't do too much, almost like Jake Fromm when he was battling who was that? Justin Fields for the starting job. How everybody's like, well, you just start the 5-star guy.
No, I mean Jake Fromm wasn't making mistakes though.
You can't if the dude's playing well. Like, you can't just pull him for playing good, right? So that's my whole thing. I think Ty Simpson, as long as he can just keep the offense in motion, don't do too much. Yeah, obviously we probably need you to do the fourth quarter comeback at some point, right? That's just what the SEC season is. You're gonna have to win one game or two with your quarterback alone. So I think as long as we're in position to do that, more so than last year, in terms of we're dependent on the quarterback to make a big play with his legs because we can't throw. Or we have to depend on the run game where they just loading up with 8 people in the box because we can't pass the ball. I think everybody is going to defend us different after the first game. I think everybody's like, okay, Ty Simpson, we got a problem. All right, we got to do something with this dude because he can throw the ball. Not so much you had to worry about last year. You had to worry about the big play. Ryan, obviously, maybe Jam Miller on a wheel route or something but you never feared the pass game last year. I feel like this year you might have to actually.
You have to respect it.
Yeah. So, but then we get into defense, man. This should be the last slide, man. But we get into defense, man. I'm really excited about Deontay Lawson. Like I said, I don't know if he's a first rounder like linebackers of the past, the Rolando McClains or whatever, but he's smart and he knows how to call the defense, right? And he's pretty good in coverage and he can tackle. So that's all you need at your linebacker sometimes, man. Quay Rousseau, obviously, he's going to be good. Another one of those athletic pass rusher dudes, like, hey, come on, let's get this quarterback. That's what I like. Obviously, Demani Jackson is pretty good corner, right? He's going to be manning that. But the big dude in the middle is the most important piece on this defense, all right? Tim Keenan has to be what the standard of defensive line play was at Alabama for a long time. He has to be that disruptor up front. I ain't saying make no tackles. I'm just saying always fucking up the play.
Like Vince Wilfork.
Yeah, always just in the way. Fucking up the gaps, blocking assignments. Make them try to double team you. He has to be nasty up front. Has to be. Because if he's not nasty, then it makes the defense have to work a little bit harder, right? To either stop the run or, get pressure on the quarterback. So I'm excited to see what he can do because we need him to be a disruptive force, man. Big dude, man. Just get in the way. That's all I want to see him do, right? Just get in the way. So, but that's pretty much. I do want to say I want to see, what I believe we got a. I think we got a white safety. His name is Hubbard, and he was making plays all last year. So I really want to see what he can do, with Keon Sabb back there. So we'll see. I don't know. We got a lot of good players, man. Like I said, I'm more excited about defense anyway. I think we could be really good on defense, really good. But that's pretty much it, player. That is it, bro. That is it, man. So we broke down our teams, man. We broke down our teams. Let us know what y'all think in the comment section. I think we might try to stream the LSU Bama
I
game.
was getting ready to ask you about that.
Yeah,
That
I
would be
would.
fun.
Yeah, that would be fun, man. So we'll see how our schedules are at that particular time, man. We'll let y'all know. But that's it, man. Like I said, we're gonna do a really quick show today, man, just to feel the needs of our subscribers, man, that love to watch us. Like I said, be a lot more streams this week. Scheduled conflicts with myself. But be a lot more streams this week, and we're gonna be good, man. So before we get up out of here, man, and enjoy the rest of our Sunday, man, what you gotta say to the people?
Speaking of the streams, man, check out the streams. Cam hasn't added his streams to the playlist. He's got like 1 million of them, but it's okay.
My bad.
All of the it's all the if you're really in the dynasty, I had a guy asking me yesterday. He was asking about like which one of you guys likes this or that. If you're more of a dynasty guy, go watch the Alaska Tech series, man. It's really cool. He's always got something going on. It's always fun. It's always interesting. Check that out. We just started the Road to Glory series yesterday. I actually like it a lot better because I'm already like wide receiver 3 in one episode. It's way better. And we ended up committing to Bowling Green. So it's actually pretty cool. But we're not doing too good this year. We got like 3 or 4 losses, and we're pretty butt. And Eddie George is probably on the hot seat. Hopefully not. So hopefully not. But the game streams are fun, man. Like I said, if you guys like the polls, check out the polls. We're going to start outside linebackers tomorrow. So a lot of those guys who you consider to be defensive ends, they will be on the outside linebacker polls. Those will be awesome. If you guys like our weekly shows, you can watch it live on YouTube, Facebook, all that. But if you are more on the go, listen to it. Check us out on Spotify, Apple, Amazon. Dude, we got stuff every single day. If you like reels and shorts, check out the freaking YouTube channel and all that. Still trying to get the Facebook page where it needs to be. I should have publicized it a bit more today, but I'm like 22 or 23 away from 100 followers. So check that out as well. And like you said earlier, if you're not already subscribed, subscribe. Like, make it easier for yourself. You are too good to be hitting that search bar and having to search Football Frame of Mind every time. Like, if you subscribe, bam, bro. You hit your subscribe page, it's right there, bro. Every time we go live, you're going to get a notification on your phone. Just click it. Subscribe. And if you like this kind of content, like the video, it really helps. Like, we're on the road to 50,000 subscribers before the end of the year. We're almost at 35,000. So it's definitely attainable, but we can't get there unless you guys start smashing that like button and subscribing. That way, people like you that like this kind of content, that don't like the alternative like ESPN, that don't like Fox Sports and all that, they like to have somebody they can relate to. You liking this video and subscribing helps get these videos to more people like that. So we will truly and gratefully appreciate that. It's completely free, no hassle. So please, if you wouldn't mind, if you like the content, like the video, subscribe, follow across all our platforms.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. So big shout outs, man, to my spouse. Big shout out to Andrew. Big shout out to Wendy and Mr. Duff, man, for the love on Facebook, man. We always appreciate, man. See that Smooth, the number 1 fan of the football frame.
I think Touchdown Troop is getting kind of close though. He's in pretty much every single one, bro. He's coming.
Yeah, Touchdown Troop was coming up there, man. LaDavian as well, man. He's closing in fast. We can't forget our boy Tyler too, man. Hope he's doing good. Haven't seen him in the last few streams, man, but I hope he's doing all right, man. But shout out to Vandy, Chris, Touchdown Troop, Wendy, Let's see. We did David. Oh, Yankee 99, man. We appreciate all that feedback, all that engagement today. But we'll see y'all on the next one, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week, man. So peace out.
Peace.